Hello, everyone. So we got some new data for the United States regarding electric vehicle sales, and things are looking pretty good. So let's have a look. So we got an article from Clean Technica here, and the headline is U.S. electric vehicle sales up 66%, rise to 7% of U.S. auto sales. The U.S. electric vehicle market has been growing strongly year after year. Sales in the first quarter of 2023 are more than double sales in the first quarter of 2021. And they are more than 5 times what they were 3 years ago. In the grand scheme of things, according to Clean Technica's calculations, pure electric vehicles sales rose to 7.1% of U.S. auto sales in the first quarter of 2023. So here's a look at that chart. This dark green is 100% electric vehicle sales. So we got 246,624. Of those, 159,700 were Tesla vehicles. So we can see Tesla dominating the US fully electric vehicle market, about 2/3 of the sales. Non-Teslas are about half. So all the other companies combined in the States make up 86,924 fully electric vehicle sales. And we can see the huge growth versus 2020, where the whole market was 47,663. It's almost 5 times that number now in Q1 of 2023. So massive growth. As the chart shows above, that has come from strong growth in Tesla sales and even stronger growth in non-Tesla electric vehicle sales. The 2023 numbers make the 2022 numbers look small and make the 2020 numbers look minuscule. And the article goes more in depth here, how to break down those numbers. They show the Model Y dominating and becoming the best-selling vehicle in the world, basically. The Chevy Bolt looking good, especially comparing it to previous years, because in previous years they had stopped production. But then they also note that GM is canceling the Chevy Bolt, so despite it doing well last year, it's going goodbye. So no more Chevy Bolt. And yeah, I would just note that at 7.1% of total automotive sales in the US, that's at a point that could be considered like the knee of the exponential curve of adoption, the S curve. So what we see here, an adoption curve. On the left side going up, the penetration of the target market, 100% adoption being at the top. So for electric vehicles, we're in this stage. This is what I'm calling the knee of the curve here, which is between 2.5% and 10%. So, that's where the U.S. is, right in this point here for electric vehicle sales in the U.S. versus as a percent of the total automotive sale market. Usually, as the adoption goes on, we're still in the early adopters phase. When we hit 10%, we're starting to get into the early majority, and it starts going up more rapidly. And then we hit 50%, and then we get into the late majority stage of adoption, still rising pretty quickly until we hit around 80-85%, and then we get the laggards, those who are very hesitant to adopt this new technology. So we're still down here for electric vehicles. So if we look at an adoption chart for Norway of battery electric vehicles, and it's also looking at plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, we can kind of see an example of how this might play out. So we see in 2011, 2012, 2013, a little bit of growth, but not much happening. It's still kind of slow until 2016, and then it starts to take off. And basically, so if we go from 2012 to 2022, we go from basically nothing, 1 or 2% adoption for the green battery electric vehicles. In 10 years, we go from like 2% to 80% adoption. The transition is almost complete at that point in 10 years. So for the States, we're maybe right here. So we have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before if this is how it plays out, it may go faster, may go slower. In 7 years, battery electric vehicles will become the majority of electric vehicle sales. We see a little dip here in the adoption. I'm not sure why that little dip happened in Norway, but I think this is a good example to look at and how quickly the adoption can happen. So this orange line includes plug-in hybrids, so it's almost at 90% adoption if you include plug-in hybrids. But in my opinion, don't include plug-in hybrids, and I don't recommend getting a plug-in hybrid vehicle. It's a half measure for people who are scared to make the full jump, in my opinion. Interesting to watch the adoption take place. The U.S. is a big one to watch, and I think it'll be closely mirrored in places like Canada. So get ready, folks, because battery electric vehicles are coming, and it may happen quicker than you think. That's my thoughts on the U.S. sales of fully electric vehicles reaching 7.1%. My name's Evan Bertrand. This is the Evergreen Channel. Subscribe if you like by clicking on the wheel, and thanks for watching.